So the album behind me is 69 love songs. To some people, this is super familiar. You've had it for 25 years now, myself included. I first heard of this record on, I believe, NPR. I believe it was a feature there. Maybe it was print material. I read some article, but I bought it pretty sure having not heard a note of it. I was just super intrigued by the idea of 69 love songs in this three CD box. At the time it was just CDs, or you could buy the three CDs individually, volume 1, volume 2, and volume 3. I bought all three together. It came with a booklet, a long interview. In fact, I was just looking at it trying to see if I wanted to read the whole thing before. Again, it's been years before I did this video, and no, I skimmed it. I started reading it. It is like a book in itself. It's very, very lengthy. So I did not do that to refresh my memory, but I have listened to this recently. Quite the bonding experience when you're in the car with the person that is your Valentine, and you just start singing along with this record. And that happened with me, with my girlfriend. And just it's just so much fun when somebody gets this on the same level as you do, I think. I was lucky enough, like I said, to get into this in 1999. I saw them on tour doing this record, and they're doing it again. Actually, they're going on tour, I believe, in the spring. I'll check the dates, and or at least confirm that it's in the spring, and mention it in the titles here. But yeah, I saw them at a place in Minneapolis called the Women's Club, and it was super small, and it was amazing. And not only is this Stephin Merritt. Now Stephin Merritt runs the Magnetic Fields. He's got a super, super, super low voice. I mean, lower than Johnny Cash's, like the voice of God. Like you think your speakers are gonna like turn to dust. It's so low. And he's the creative one behind the Magnetic Fields. He writes all the lyrics, writes all the songs, and usually he's the sole vocalist. But on this record, on these 69 songs and this three CD set, he has other people singing it, which makes it, I think, a lot more enjoyable. It's all over the place as far as styles goes. I mean, you've got like sort of new wave type stuff going on. You've got synthesizers. You've also got acoustic guitar numbers. You've got country songs. You've got operatic type. Not I mean, you've got very theatrical songs. The whole thing is like a theater piece. He originally wanted to write a collection of 100 songs and have it be like this Broadway thing, and you can totally hear that when you listen to this. He thought 100 would be too unbearable as far as the length goes. He whittled it down to 69 because, for obvious reasons, he liked that number, but also he liked it graphically. And if you look at the cover behind me, you can see, it does stand out quite a bit. On the single CDs, they didn't do that. They featured just the covers like this, um, three different ones when they sold them individually. But yeah, so where do you start with 69 love songs if you're not familiar with it? I mean, like I said, it's all over the place. It's very theatrical. It has tons of different styles in it. It is dark. I mean, it's like a dark take on love, a humorous take on love. These are not the type of songs that you give somebody. You're not going to put five of them on a mixtape for somebody you're trying to swoon with old-fashioned romantic love songs and open up your heart and tell them how you feel about them. Probably not going to work with this collection of material, but boy, does it show like the humorous side of dating, relationships, the drama, the over the topness of feeling like your heart's being ripped out, and just the craziness of emotions that you go through. And in a way, it kind of reminds me now, looking back on it with this distance perspective of 25 years, I guess. It kind of reminds me of Seinfeld. It's like this New York, New York crew, New York guy, writing about relationships, late 20s, early 30s, kind of seen it all, a little jaded. But I think he really captured something really hilarious and magical and interesting, and its breadth is part of the appeal here. I think if this had been a 10-song record or a 15-song record or even a 25-song record, which in fact some of these individual ones are about that length, 24 tracks on at least one of them, I think it wouldn't have the same feel. It is the abundance of it, and because it's so abundant, a lot of it remains kind of new. I've played this all the way through numerous times, but I have my favorites I come back to. It tends to be disc 1 and disc 3. Disc 2, I tend to not be nearly as familiar with. Like I said, I had the 3 CD configuration that was in the box set with a booklet at the time when I bought it. The one behind me is pretty cool. It's the vinyl version. They put it out on 10-inch, which I don't totally understand, other than it just looks really cool. You've got 6 different vinyl records in here, so there's a lot of flipping around. But I'm not sure this record's meant to be heard all the way through anyway. It would take quite a lot of discipline to do that. Although, hey, I did this about a month and a half ago and really enjoyed it. But yeah, there's just a lot of humor in here too, and it's like just an insanely quotable record for lyrics, for things he mentions. He compares being blue to an exact Pantone color of blue in Reno, Dakota. He describes his acoustic guitar, and I'm saying he because he's a writer, but there's female vocalists on here that are singing as well and doing an absolutely lovely job. But he's calling on his acoustic guitar to bring him back his girl, and saying that you think I play hard? Well, you could have belonged to Steve Earle or Charo or Gwar. I mean, when do you have those 3 in the same sentence? The luckiest guy on the Lower East Side. Why is he the luckiest guy on the Lower East Side? He's also the ugliest guy on the Lower East Side, we learned. But he's the luckiest guy on the Lower East Side because he's got wheels and the object of his affection wants to go for a ride. Let's pretend we're bunny rabbits. Let's do it all night long. A pretty girl is like ... A pretty girl is like a minstrel show. It makes you laugh. It makes you cry. You go. It just isn't the same on radio. It's all about the makeup and the dancing and a pretty girl is like a violent crime. If you do it wrong, you could do time. That's just the first record. When I say record, I keep talking about these in CD terms because I'm not nearly as used to the 6 different records, the 10-inch records that are in here. But like I said, it's a beautiful set. It's really well done. The second one I'm not as familiar with. Like, it does hold a lot of mystery for me. Papa Was a Rodeo is the one that really stands out. Kind of it's a country song. He's singing it. Papa Was a Rodeo. Mama Was a Rolling Stone. Very highly memorable song. Disc 3, I love. It opens up with Underwear. Pretty girl in her underwear. If there's anything better in this world, who cares? Later on, he switches the sexes in the song. A pretty boy in his underwear. If there's a better reason to jump for joy, who cares? Yes, like I said, it's long. This is 171 minutes. There's a reason why they sold them individually too. Although I don't know. I can't imagine getting one and then not wanting to hear the others. Maybe now with streaming, if you could hear them and choose your favorites, you could make a really cool, condensed version of this. But I think you're missing out if you don't have the sprawl, the 69 love songs. So, yeah, for those of you not familiar, for those of you that haven't heard this in a long time, I would definitely recommend playing it again, bringing it out. It's just one of the most unique records, and it's one that I think for some reason has been kind of forgotten. I don't hear a whole lot of talk about, other than, they are going on tour to support this again. And I believe it's original people that were involved, which could be really cool. I think it's a multiple night thing. I'm pretty sure when I saw them in Minneapolis at the Women's Club in 1999 doing this, I'm pretty sure that they did the whole thing. I tried to check on Setlist FM to see if I could find out for sure. I didn't see that, but I'll have to check with some friends that were there and see what they thought. But I don't remember feeling like any song was missed. And yeah, I'll think about going to see him on this tour again. But yeah, such a good record. In some ways, it's an oddball choice for a Valentine's record, but there's so much humor in it. For the right person, you could put this on and they would absolutely love it. So that's what I want to talk about. Magnetic Fields, 69 love songs. Just a really cool record, really unique record. 69 of these songs. Less is more, they say sometimes. I think it's kind of the opposite with this, like I talked about. And for me, it's kind of hard to get past this. Like, this is the classic I always come back to. I'll listen to other things that Stephin Merritt does and enjoy them. 50 Song Memoir I like quite a bit that he did on his for his 50th birthday. 50 songs, not 69, and it was way less diverse than this is. But I'll always come back to this record. I think it's his crowning achievement. And I think anybody who just loves songwriting, loves conceptual records, loves humor, would absolutely love 69 Love Songs. Thanks, everyone.